Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to have to look into one of the more darker spirals that I've seen on the internet. Now, ladies and gentlemen, a couple weeks ago, I made a video in regards to Fouseytube. All right, it was an off-the-cuff video. I was in my car because it's something that made me so angry. Where this, one-time streamer, this one-time YouTuber, very, very large at the time. Fouseytube's been around forever, okay? I don't have to give any introductions. If you've been on YouTube as long as I have, you recognize the name Fouseytube back in the days of social experiments, pranks, Muslim vlogs. Now you might recognize him as a 24/7 IRL live streamer. Now, IRL live streaming is like a powder keg, and it actually, best example, it's a time bomb, okay? Anytime somebody IRL streams, it's literally a time bomb waiting to go off. And let me tell you something about bombs. You don't want to be around them when they're about to go boom. Now, I think the best example, if you want to know more about the airport rizzing incident, where Fouseytube interacts with a drunk girl who expresses how she was a victim of human trafficking, truly charming, brilliant, halal behavior, if you will. One of the best, recaps you could see is from my podcast co-host, Oompaville, who actually discussed this in his own video.
He needs to spend a lot more time in therapy and get the f off the internet, log off, in my opinion. Come on, man. Come on, man. Or at least use the influence for good. I just see this getting way, way worse. Let me know what you guys think.
Yeah, boy, Caleb, if only you knew how on the money you actually were. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Fouseytube has been an interest to me because ever since the airport incident, Fouseytube has been running this insane subathon where the viewer counts have been going up insanely, from 10,000 live viewers to 20 to 30 to 40, all the way to just a couple hours ago when it reached 70,000 viewers, okay? And this is where Fouseytube self-swatted himself. Now, to understand, Fouseytube's not all the way there. For instance, if you want to see some quick clips of him in Vegas, where he ended up getting kicked out of an MGM Grand Casino and pretty much banned, I guess you could say down the strip, if you will, too. Not allowed to gamble in anything in Las Venturas anymore. Surprise, surprise. This is exactly what his time was like in Vegas.
You guys.
Fuck all.
Yusuf!
33-year-old man running into traffic, by the way, too.
Yo, record this, record this.
We're leaving.
Shut your dumb ass up. Or what? You put your hands on me, let me sue your ass. Got the best lawyers in the game, cousin. You and your minimum wage job. You and your minimum wage job, you broke.
Shitting on somebody for their minimum wage job. Real humble and positive, my Islamic friend. Now, of course, besides the fact that he's got a Raptors jersey on, and I feel really ashamed to be a Torontonian right now, the reality of it is that this is really, really bad behavior, okay? This is not just bad behavior, but this is somebody that is so hungry for the slightest bit of clout, the slightest bit of fame. Fouseytube is the kind of guy where if you give him just an ounce of clout and a little bit of money, he goes insane. The ego goes through the roof. Now, in the last couple hours, Fouseytube has been doing some streams, or running a stream, where he ended up getting kicked out of an Airbnb, fired a majority of his staff, and burned pretty much every bridge that he can. Now, to understand, Fouseytube has manic episodes. He has a mental disorder. Now, again, while he has a mental disorder, I'll be the first one to just say it, that just because you have mental issues doesn't mean that you can just use it as a Yu-Gi-Oh! Defense card whenever you feel like it, and generally get to be an asshole to everyone. If you're not really going out of your way to proactively fix up your mental health, then you also can't be using it as a badge of victimization. Anytime you do some shitty behavior, people call you out, and then you're going to immediately say, oh, but I'm mentally ill. No, you're not really doing anything to fix it. Instead of checking into a mental health ward, he decides to go to Miami, where he meets up with Sneeko, Aiden Ross, all those fellas. And, it gets even wilder, because during the night, he started to get into fights, literally performing actual assaults on camera.
You're so perfect. I am smart. You think you're perfect. You're not. You're far from perfect. You got a up ass too. I think I'm perfect.
Yeah, that's a really good dude. Going up and assaulting a guy? Come on now.
You said you were gonna do that.
I think I'm perfect. I just prayed and cried to Allah and asked him for forgiveness for all my shortcomings and sins. Respect your elders.
Yeah, Allah Ta'ala also tells you to keep your anger in check too, which that wasn't in check at all. Here's another clip where he attacks another YouTuber that I just found out existed today, Jack Doherty. Watch this one.
Beta said, hey, yo, you're a little, bro, you're a He doesn't even have his kid money yet. Yo, you're
I'm beta.
imagine being 33 years old and yo, get me some water bottles, Sean.
You're lucky I made friends with your security.
Hey,
now we can't box. There's a whole.
Yeah, you get invited to a dude's house, throw water at him, he throws water back, and then your next response is to assault the guy. Yeah, that's gonna go real well. But of course, Fouseytube was kind of on his way to evading law enforcement throughout the night until this situation kicked in, and this is where things get really wild. So during the night, Fouseytube got kicked out of his Airbnb, somewhere to the point where his $77 million kick deal, again, that number was pulled out of somebody's asshole, was kind of in jeopardy. So as he got kicked out of Airbnb, he checked into a local hotel. Now in this situation, I want to add some context. During this hotel moment, he was getting into some wild rants, he was getting angry, he had a manic episode. And in this entire situation, this YouTuber known as Ganville, a Twitch or Kick streamer, former Kick streamer, because he ended up actually getting banned, because this idiot ended up calling up Fouseytube's family and pretty much harassing them, which I want to just remind you is 1000% never okay. This idiot is in the wrong. He is a troll and one of the worst kinds of troll possible. He ended up basically threatening Fouseytube. Fouseytube threatened him back physically, and eventually they started throwing out each other's addresses, and he basically told Fouseytube to come to his address and, cause some harm, because as they were in Florida, it's a stand your ground state, this guy could absolutely blow away Fousey, okay? Like, it would be a wild situation had that happen. Now, in a normal situation, and I've been on the internet a long time too, I've gotten fucked up calls. You're never supposed to escalate. Usually hang it up right there. It's a troll. They're not going to go forward as long as you don't go forward or give a reaction. Because Fousey was live streaming, here is the reaction.
What's up?
What'd you say?
Yo, I'm Gamble. I'm the guy that was calling your mom and sister and brother and shit. I think one of your friends got me banned on Kick.
I swear to God, you pull up to my house right now, I'll stick a knife 10 feet in your.
All right, let's stop right there. Jesus Christ, I don't want to get caught strays here legally. Yeah, you never threaten somebody. You just hang up the phone right there and call it a day. You've been on the internet as long as I have, Fousey, even longer. You know damn well never to engage with the troll and do this. Now, I don't know if this was mania kicking in or whether the fact that he wanted a clip, because what you're about to see next is insane.
Hold up. I want to show you my collection.
Yo, I just got a text. Yo, how the f your management even let this happen to you? Yo, say it one more. Say it one more time. Say it one more time. We're coming. Say it one more time.
Hold up. Watch, Florida. This is stand your ground.
So basically this idiot, this troll gives his address and basically tells Fousey to pull up. He's got an entire collection of what I assume are firearms, right? And because Florida's a stand your ground state, his intention is to kill Fouseytube if he shows up to the house. Now in this situation, again, may I remind you, never escalate, hang up the phone, and just don't go. Go to bed, go do something else. So now Fousey does what I like to call the self-swatting, and I swear to God it's the first time throughout my entire fucking career on the internet, throughout my entire time looking at wild shit on the internet that I've actually seen something this wild and stupid.
Here, calm down, bro.
Ma'am, my life is in danger.
Intercontinental Miami.
Where are you, sir?
I'm in the Intercontinental!
Give me the phone, man. Give me the phone. You gotta calm down, bro.
No, dog!
Sit down and calm down. Relax. I'm gonna.
Oh, because a guy told me I'm gonna die tonight. You want me to relax?
Yo, sit down and let me give her the address. She's trying to get the.
Fousey is on a call with 911 operators, okay? And the last thing you want to do with law enforcement is start screaming over on their on the phone. That's never okay.
Send the cops. Send the cops. There's a gun to my head right now. There's a gun to my head. Help, ma'am, he left. Ma'am, he left. There's a gun to my head. Help, get them. Help, bye. Ma'am, Intercontinental, what's my room number? Help, tell me. 2027.
Yeah, he fucking calls a SWAT attempt on him. So he self-swats himself. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is where I'm actually so baffled away at what I've seen, okay? It's one of the reasons why I'm completely awake right now, because this kind of stuff got to a point where it really triggered deep web browsing for me, okay? I've seen a lot of wild stuff on there. Whenever I search up, dark rabbit holes or I research the drug war in Mexico, I come across really violent footage. Tonight, I almost saw a snuff video live on kick.com, but we'll get to a lot of that just a little bit later. He basically puts himself and the people around him, that security guard, other people in the hotel, in serious danger. Because what he's done is he's called up a dispatcher, told him that there is a gun to his head. So now imagine you're on the other side of the call, okay? You're a dispatcher, you're with the Miami police. They're assuming that there is an active shooter in the area, okay? There is an active shooter in this situation. And when the law enforcement pulls up, they clear the room, they're there, ready to take down anybody. And as Fouseytube was going to answer the door, I nearly shit myself. Because this could have gotten bad in so many ways. Fousey was not a simple subject at all, too. He even started escalating it when law enforcement got in his face. Listen to this.
I literally told him, if I see you, I'm sticking a knife 9 inches in your neck and I'm sliding it down your penis. He gave me his address.
And how does he know where you're staying at?
I don't, he's a stalker.
Okay, and who is this guy?
I don't know.
So how do you want us to look for him if you don't know where he's
I have his address.
What is his address?
I said grab my security 20 minutes ago! You guys are dumb as man. You guys are literally dumb as all y'all. Hey, record this. Security! Come in here now!
They told me to stay outside. I can't come inside.
Yo, for my protection, come in here!
I can't come inside. They told me
He can't come in?
I cannot.
Y'all are I'm suing all y'all. My life is in danger and you arrest a Palestinian Muslim who's viral? Are y'all dumb or are you stupid?
I love how we play the race card in this situation when the law enforcement did the best that they can in this situation. Screaming, escalating, and telling them there's a stalker hunting you down. These cops have no idea what's going on. They were called into a shooter threat, and now they've realized they're coming up against somebody with the ego the size of Texas. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is probably the best case scenario. Nobody died. And this put to ease so much of my stress and anxiety tonight as I was watching this kick stream, because I thought somebody was going to die. Now, as much as I dislike Fouseytube over the airport incident that I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I don't like seeing people die or in this situation, period, okay? Underneath my fucked up exterior, there is an empathetic core. Now, this situation involved with Fouseytube basically puts him into what I understand false reporting to 911 systems. Because of that fake SWAT call, okay? That's not legal. Now, from what I understand, this could be up to a year in prison, and I believe he was smoking weed earlier too. So marijuana, as far as I understand, is illegal in the state of Florida. You could probably still smell it in the hotel room, but hey, this is a good thing ultimately. Fouseytube is the kind of guy that's never been told no in his life, and he pretty much is the most egotistical individual out there. And it takes a swift slap from the system, like the law enforcement over here, where if he is getting a court date, which I think he is since he may be getting charged, I don't know, we'll find out more in the next day or the day after. That means he's pretty much tied up in the state of Miami. He could bail himself out, but he's pretty much tied there. And if he has to serve some time or actually end up with some serious charges, then that's ultimately a good thing in this situation. This is the kind of guy that needs actual legal law enforcement intervention. Otherwise, he continues to be a danger to him and the people around him. Could you imagine how bad this could have gone had he just started screaming from beyond the door? Had he opened the door with something in his hand and Miami police, without even thinking, pulled out their gun? I mean, how can you think? You've seen me play video games like Ready or Not or SWAT 4. You've seen enough police footage from channels like Donut Operator where cops have a split-second, timing window to actually make quick decisions. And Fousey, in his state, could have ended up potentially dead tonight. But thankfully, because of the proper actions by law enforcement agencies, he is arrested, and hopefully he gets a swift slap on his face and comes out of this just fine. This is where I want to lead to the end of the video, where I think the problem is not just Fousey, but the community as well too. You look through this this kick chat real quick, and one thing ended up actually screwing with me a little bit. Shame he got arrested. Who would have thought an unmedicated man would be the dopest content? Why is it that this is content that is okay? For instance, the fact that this stream even happened in the first place without Kick.com intervening and shutting it down is a bit disgusting to speak of. But the other thing that's wild is as Fousey was arrested, Kick.com's social media platform literally tweeted out hashtag free Fousey, as if it was a giant joke to them. And speaking of Kick, Fouseytube was basically flexing some $15 million deal that blew up into a $77 million deal throughout the course of 2 weeks when he was in Vegas and Miami. So it almost felt like Kick.com and the people running the website were just fucking stringing this guy along anyways, using his manic state for free content and promotion on his platform. Because at the end of the day, if you want to be real about it, he was in fact the largest streamer on the platform. Everyone else was like maybe a seventh of his view count, period. Now again, ladies and gentlemen, this is not content that I really think should be rewarded. Fouseytube is a danger to the people around him. Hell, just looking at how he treats the autopilot function on a fucking Tesla where he puts 2 feet up in the air and forgets to drive the vehicle while using autopilot assists is just a showcase as to how stupid this individual really is. But what he did, literally tonight, is just the cherry on the cake of some of the most insane shit I've ever seen in the influencer camp, period. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens when you let clout go too far. The quest for clout is too fucking far. You know, this could have been a situation that, you know, could have went from law enforcement stopping and de-escalating the situation as they did to an actual live snuff film recorded on Kick.com in 4K 60 frames per second. Wild, wild shit indeed. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end the video right over here. A lot to say, a lot to process. I'm out. Wild.